Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another Ultimate League round here in Season 1 as we find ourselves here for the second round of the season for the Russian Grand Prix here at Igora Drive. Looking at the standings as we saw, it was only one round, so the standings order is exactly the same as the finish order as we see then here. The one times managing to finish in the first two positions. And so, yeah, we see then Figueira starting this championship with maximum points after taking the pole position, fastest lap and the race win. Then Flix then sits himself in second place with Futmi, managing to hold on to that third place with Aussie in P4. Then GT not really having a good start to this season, then finishing only in P5. And then in the team standings, and without any surprise, we got then one time then leading the way with the 1-2 finish and both fastest lap and pole position points. They have maximum points as well, 57 points ahead, and with Mayhem Racing being up in second place with then SCP in third, followed then by LSA in P4. Then you got here RMC, also P5, very close fight here for second place at the moment. And then you got SGP just edging out Flow Force there for P6, and then we got Lynx Racing just ahead of Ricard Auto. Now, looking at today's circuits, it is Igora Drive here in Russia, and as you can see, there's a lot of lefts and rights on this track, and this sort of 90-degree turns as well. And yeah, it can be a little bit of a tricky track. Sometimes it does feel like it's a little bit easy to just sort of overbrake on this circuit, brake more than it's needed, as well to not really hit the apex quite well. Then on that bottom left side, it's on that final sort of turn of that little section there, it's really easy to also go off the track. But yeah, battling wise, it definitely will depend a lot on the drivers. I'd say it's definitely possible to have some clean battling, but yeah, maybe not with everyone. Strategy wise, we can definitely expect to see softs and mediums to sort of dominate, but we might see some drivers doing some alternative strategies as well to sort of do the whole tire offset when it comes to their strategy. So without any further, let's get ourselves then into the qualifying session. Okay, so there were some issues as for some reason I was supposed to be commentating with y'all, which we did live, but then I pretty much just forgot to put my audio of my microphone on. So yeah, I'm doing this sort of post race commentary so that you know, it looks a little bit better. But either way, we are here then in qualifying. We got Hanandi racing for the first time this season, and yeah, then just from other drivers who are replacing main drivers, they're not really all that many. I mean, we got Fatmi filling in for Blank as Menbergot is here now this time around, and that is pretty much it. As we see right now, we got Figueira then on provisional pole. A lot of drivers can definitely still improve on this lap, as we got Figo with the banger lap already with the 27.5. Then we got Flix in second place, F1 Fan in third place. Actually, very impressive here, as we then see Figueira actually tying. And then you got Shark GT then up into second place. F1 Fan still in third, followed by Flix, and you got Kubo there in P5. And then we see here Aussie are now in the P6. So there's only one single lap to go. As you see, Figo definitely doing pretty well here. As here we go then, as he's going to be crossing the line. And he's going to be the one taking pole position with F1 Fan actually taking second place. Then GT in third, followed then by Hanandi and Flix, who will actually tie on their qualifying laps. Then we got Kubo then there in P6, followed by Futmi there in P7. Then we got Aussie, then P8, followed by Sech, and then Corvid. So the full force there, row number 5, closing the top 10. And then we got Menbergot then in P11, followed by Albono. Then we got Johnny Fu P13, followed by Mati Mara. Actually, there's a freeway tie there with the 27.93. Then we got Johnny, followed by 60 Digger. And then we see Vituko and then Mason starting right at the back. So without any further, let's then get ourselves into the race. Alright, so here we go then. The drivers are then ready for the race. We got Figo then looking very promising here with F1 Fan then starting alongside. And here we go then. We got Figo then still lead the way. F1 Fan just stays behind. We got JT then in third. We see Hanadi just losing the position there to Flix as he takes now P4. Then we got Kubo right behind with Fatmi there. Then we got Ozzy and Setch. Now we got a huge group here forming of 9 drivers right now. As we got Setch trying to find a way past Ozzy. As we got then now the back just breaking here. We got the top 7 then running away from the others. As we see here JT just staying behind the Romanian driver. As he now just happy to stay there in second place. And then we see Flix now trying to go up the inside there. Can he make the move or not as they go now wheel to wheel there? But it is JT prevailing there in third place. As then we got here Setch battling Manbergot right now. And big battle there for P9, but it is then the Dutchman then in P9. And yeah, then we see here Figueroa still leading the way, not much really changing here. But we do see here Flix maybe trying to apply some pressure there to the British driver. Yeah, then you got here Ozzy right behind Manbergot. As we got also Setch up there. And we see here MBG is trying to overtake Ozzy around the outside, but that didn't quite work that well. As then we see here Matti and Corvitz side by side. Can that work well or not? As we got Pituko also up there, maybe trying to pick up the scraps. And then we got Johnny Funal with the triple overtake there. That was an amazing move there from him. As he goes then up into P12. And then you got Corvitz and just passing him right again. You see Matti just pushing him off the track, and now there is Johnny Fook going from hero to 0 there. Very unfortunate, but that move was quite amazing, not gonna lie. As back at the front we see Flix up there on the inside, but in the meantime Johnny Fook decides to go into the pits. So he goes into the pits on lap number 5. I'm not sure exactly what was he thinking there, but yeah, quite big undercut pretty much as we got here. The flow forces battling each other with Ozzy also battling Manbergoats. And then we see here Flix just drowning in this pack right now as he goes side by side with Kubo. But not much he can do there. Yes, Figo still continues to lead the way. F1 Fan still in second place as well, so not much changing there at the front. But Flix though continues to fall down as we got Fatmi now not really on that slipstream pack. As we see Flix is trying to get himself ahead as he goes up the inside into turn 1, and that was an easy move for the Latvian. As we see more further back we got Setch here. We don't know exactly why was he typing in the chat, maybe it was a little mistake. As we see Sexy Digger now, he started quite far down but trying to make his way up. As we got Johnny Foot down in last place, being the only driver to pits at the moment. That was definitely a very early pit stop. Now looking at the front again, not much happening. We got F1 Fan just here being between what is arguably the two top two, but as we see here, F1 Fan with the huge server lag there. Not exactly server lag, but he got a stall, which was pretty much on his screen, and now as you can see, Figueroa just extends that lead now. No one was in slipstream, and as we see now the drivers go right into the pits. And yeah, definitely huge leg for Figo. I think this could definitely just give him the win. As we see now F1 Fan having to deal with the traffic here. He goes side by side with Matti. And then we see Kubo right behind him as well, also have pitted. And it's Fatmi and Matimar. As he has running out there into the grass. Now we got the others pitting. Figo's just happy to extend those tires, just like the others as we got here. Nandi. Now, we got F1 Fan with some lag there. And then we see Figo just leading the way. Then Flix here in third place, followed by Hanandi. Then we've got JT there in third. And yeah, it's no other stuff going on. There's not really much. But yeah, Flix with a nice undercut there, as well as F1 fan, so that's pretty much deciding the position. But the others have fresher tires. For instance, we got here JT on the hards, maybe settling for second place because yeah, at the moment it's going to be really hard to catch him at this point. But as we see, JT just trying to get past their LSAs, but didn't exactly have a good exit there. Now Kubo is trying to be opportunistic here as he goes around the outside. Can he make the move there? Yes, he can. And then we see here Nandi right now in third. And yeah, then more stuff going on. We got JT with Kubo. Now just trying to slipstream him, trying to take full advantage of this. But as we see, Kubo makes a big mistake there. As we see Nandi trying to take second from Flix. And which he does take that second place. Then you got F1 fan just trying to hang on, but is starting to fall down of that group as we see the Stargold GP drivers there. And yeah, then we see Matti on the chat trying to communicate with Albono, I believe. And then we see also Sedge. There we got Mason now in P14. Matti goes up the inside, easy move there for him. Then we see the League's racing drivers going side by side. Sedge now goes for the move on Mason as we see a huge leg rocket there. A freeway battle going on there, and Mason is the one who loses the most there. In the meantime, we see Gironi just joining the party. He had pitted very recently. We see him here on very fresh hard tires. That was very unfortunate for all of them. And actually very fortunate for Matti, who just now managed to pretty much get rid of them. And as we see, looks like Flix has lost that slipstream now. Nandi takes second place. Tried to get away with it. And then we see F1 fan also keeping it close to the others. We see Johnny Fu making a little mistake, and again now Ozzy gets an easy move there into P9. And then we see here Vituko there in P11. And right now we got here the SGP drivers just slipstreaming each other very nicely there. As they are running P7 and P8, so all looking very smooth for the brand new team. Well, the brand new rebranded team. As in the meantime, Figueroa would be extending his gap now 4 seconds ahead of Fernandi at the moment, so it's going to be really hard to just take this win from him. And as we see also F1 fan who's doing a very impressive race. In the meantime, we have Fatmi has then gone into the pits. And yeah, then we see here JT with Kubo and Flix, who just continues to lose some of that gap right now. I think it's definitely going to be time to pit. And here they go then, so JT now is going to try and take full advantage of this clean air. As he already took the advantage of the other tires, as Kubo was on the soft tires there, so now it's time to actually apply his own pace. As we see Flix and Kubo, but now in P6, P7, just ahead of P2 there. Then we got Matti, then the SGPs and Johnny Fu. It's actually starting to recover as he did that very early pit stop. And now he finds himself in P12. Then we see Matti tapping the switch there. Then we got Nani then leaving the pits behind Ozzy, who still yet to make that second pit stop. But he's on the hard tires as we see then Nani going up the inside of the Polish driver. But as you can see, Flix and Kubo, it actually went for the undercut, or perhaps Nani went for the overcut. And now they have to give him some consequences because he was already far ahead of Flix, but now they're right behind him. As you see on the background, F1 fan pitting. And as we see Ozzy definitely going for a different strategy, which could benefit him in the end. As we see here, there is some server lag there. As you got right now, F1 fan. As we see here, Matti battling Fatmi there. Things got very spicy between them in the previous race, but as you see here, Fedme makes an easy move on the Polish driver. I think they got that behind him now. But yeah, Fedme then in P8. And yeah, then you see F1 Fan just isolated. And yeah, then more stuff going on. There's a freeway battle there for second place right now, with GT already being behind Figueira. Even though Figueira has pitted twice and he's not really on his slipstream, so now that fact was pretty much race defining, as now Figo can just get away and pretty much go for that race win. As we see, then here Nani, Flix and Kubo definitely just slipstreaming each other. And then JT here already behind Figo. Very old hard tires. He's gonna have to pit very soon. As we see someone in the pits, actually, there is Matty Marlin pitting for the second time for the mediums. And yeah, let's see now. Will JT actually pit on his lap or not? As we see him actually just goes past. So, because yeah, there's one thing that he could do now, which is try and maybe go for a potential undercut, which could be a huge one. But he decided to stay out, so not sure if that will no longer be a possibility, because on very old tires, each lap that it makes will make a huge difference. So that's the main thing. And we see here Johnny Fu also in P9. Once again, this strategy actually working pretty well. Even with the compromises that they are, as we see him right now right behind Member Goats, but he's not going to try and pass him right now. Then we got here Bituko and Corvette battling each other. As we see Corvette, a nice switch back there. He's on the faster tires, so it's only obvious that Corvette will be the lead. But as you see, he made a little mistake there now. 60 Digger trying to benefit from this, as we see Bituko just going very deep into that turn. As in the meantime, we got F1 Fan on the slipstream of JT there. Because obviously GT has to pit very late as he makes a mistake there. At the end, GT obviously pitted later as he went for the hard tires. And now once again going for the hards. But yeah, it is the softs and the mediums. They're supposedly faster on this track. So what GT is doing is pretty much alternate strategy. And at this point, he's probably just settling for second place. Because Figo, I don't think no one can beat him today. Really just driving very comfortably. I think as soon as he just got that little gap created by a F1 Fan after he stalled, things were just decided there. As we see now, Nandi taking the lead provisionally, as we got Kubo ended up right behind Figo, who was just beaten now for the third time. And then you see here Flix going for that undercut as well, as he was battling Kubo and Nandi now in this third place. Then again, there's not much going on this track now. Things have definitely slowed down. But as we see here, we got the three cars slipstreaming each other. And then we see Fatby now diving into the pits, same with Johnny Fu. Was on a complete dead tires. And then we got Mender Goats, who actually decides to stay out. And yeah, in the meantime, we see once again just not much going on. We got Fatby with a little mistake there. Then you got Corvette here in P14. Defty not having an easy race here. As we all know, he's definitely capable of top 5 sometimes. But obviously, in these latest seasons, he's not really been practicing all that much. And obviously, just not easy to race from Australia, as the time zone is a lot different from Europe, and so it's pretty much just racing in the middle of the night, knowing that he's going to have to go to work in the very next day. But as you see here, then you got Flix Now Eric right behind Hernandi, and as you can see, Hernandi definitely going for a good strategy here. He pitted later, but he managed to just keep the position. Now he has that tire advantage. As Kubo has pitted 1 lap earlier, then Flix pitted 2 laps earlier, so there is an interesting part here. All these three drivers, despite being together, they have not pitted at the same time. They all pitted on each on their laps here. But yeah, now Nandi definitely being the one with the advantage here. Kubo maybe might try to get past Flix later on. But I think right now Sim Streaming seems to be the right answer. But the main concern now is that Flix could definitely just lose that Sim Stream from Nandi because it is a 2 lap tire difference. As you see there, an F1 fan. In the meantime, we got this battle here. Aussie versus F1 fan for the P6. Two drivers on completely different strategies. We see F1 fan has already pitted for 3 times. Aussie only twice. And he's once again on the hard tires. Soon he's going to have to change and pick a different tire compound. But yeah, definitely some interesting development here. As you got right now a bit of a mistake there from someone, I believe Matti. And then we see here Johnny Fu right now in P11 battling Menberg Goat. This is then a battle for the top 10. As Menberg Goat then stays in now P9 with Quarry right behind on medium tires. You see there he goes in the Slovakian and making a move on the Dutchman. As we see here that Menberg just tried now making a move up the inside there of Johnny Fu, but that didn't exactly work as we got Corvid right next to them and he actually gets a little overtake there. Then we see here Sexy Digger on those soft tires now with the advantage. We see a bit of like rocket farming there, but they managed to get out of it. And as we see now Sexy Digger then with the better exit there, going side by side with Menberg. Yes, inside. And now he stays around the outside, but Menberg still up there. You got the Stargoat battling the Mayhem. But now they're all just settling in for their positions right now with Corvid and leading the charge here in P9. As then right ahead will be Fugme. And you can definitely tell the difference that he's making pitting earlier. Meantime we see here then Hernandi, 3rd place. But this is the battle that is interesting to watch here. We got Sexy Digger and Johnny Fu once again going side by side as Johnny Fu messes up his line there. And now he gets pushed into off the track there as Menberg makes the move. But Johnny Fu now just falling down. Losing that group now. Try to now get back. And then we see here the Ricard is battling with Juruni. As in the background we then see here Corvid now going into the pit, so he goes for the soft tires. He now goes down into P15, so he has to pit one more time. But yeah, it's been a very difficult race for him so far. In the meantime we see here now Menberg goes with a nice exit there and getting a nice move on Aussie. And then you see JT and F1 fan. As yeah, JT had pitted very recently, now F1 fan is gonna let him pass. And JT at this moment just looking to save one pit stop. And will that really work out or not? That's the main question right now. Because at this point it does seem like he's gonna have older tires on that final stint. But as we see here, we got Nandi and Kubo battling each other. And in the meantime, looks like Figueira has managed to make his 4th pit stop and still keep the lead. So, yeah, things just looking very promising for him. As we see here, Bituko and Matti with Fatmi as they go 3 wide there. Matti up the inside, Fatmi around the outside there. We got Shirley also trying to pick up something, but he gets squeezed into the grass there on the final turn. And as we see now, Fatmi Vituka still side by side. It's Spain versus France. As we see Fatmi Now getting himself into the middle of the recards here in the P11. Now just a little bit one position shy of the top 10, but now he gets the move done on Mati. As we see then the man by the goats. But now just joining the pits, and then you see here Corvid and Juruni. As there he goes in the man by the goats saying P15. Then you got here charged there in second, then F1 fans is trying to stay on that slipstream there of GT, which could have to be very beneficial for him. As he Lefty could at least help in his battle against Ozzy, but as you can see he's already lost it, so yeah, maybe Defty needs to pit now because his tires are just completely dead. And there's 10 laps to go, so it would be his final pit stop then. And now there he goes, and he goes into the pits. And he's going to be pitting for the soft tires. In the meantime, we see here Ozzy. Will he be ahead or not? As we see, he's going to be very close. But Ozzy takes the position, so he takes P6. But F1 fan definitely does have the advantage. So let's see here, as we see Mayhem versus LSA, and ooh, a little bit of a squeeze there from Ozzy. We got F1 fans just trying to fight back. As we see now Ozzy going defensive, but he slows down, so looks like, yeah, looks like he's not really interested in battling F1 fan right now for that P6. As then we see Man Marigold, we got Junoni, then the Ricars looking to switch them each other. As yeah, they're pretty much been racing together the whole race. As we see then here the battle for third, Kubo right now in third with Nandi and Flix. And now the situation is actually quite different. Flix does have older tires, but Kubo and Nandi now are very equal footing here. So this will be interesting. Kubo with a good chance to take third place. It has been a good track for him actually. If I'm not wrong, he actually took the podium in the previous 2 times we have raced here. So he has a chance to get a third one on this track. As we see, he goes off the track. There we got Flix now making a move on him. As you see here then, now Flix maybe looking for a way past. No, I think he's just going to slipstream, but yeah, it is a very interesting battle that is developing here. As you then see, JT actually, this is the thing now, with his alternate strategy, he got himself into second place, which allows him to just make it more dependent on his pace, and we all know that he's faster than these 3 drivers. But now at the same time, he does have compromised tires here, as you can see, older hard tires. So let's see then, can Hernandi, Flix and Kubo catch up to the British driver, or will they battle within each other? So yeah, right now it's a little bit of a pace battle, as we see then here Hernandi is continuing with third place. And they are just slipstreaming each other, but yeah, we are definitely heading towards the final stages of this race then. As you see Flix having a little look on up the inside. He's not really gonna do much with it. Let's see once again, Flix maybe trying to move it. No, kind of looks like he wants to make a move, but he ends up just staying behind. We see Hernani with a little mistake. Now Flix tries up the inside there, but he gets squeezed into the grass. As we see now Kubo now going side by side. He has the inside now. Did he make the move or not, as we see? And yeah, Flix will back out. So he thinks better of it, as you see then Kubo now in P4. So now it's the 2 drivers with the same tires. Flix a little bit on the back foot right now, just trying to hold on. But he goes up the inside there. But he gets into the grass, and then we see here F1 fan and Ozzy also battling each other. Ozzy was just trying to hold on until the end. And then go for the battle on the final laps. As we see here now, Flix and Kubo going side by side. But he gets up inside and he makes the move. As this now Ozzy now deciding that it's time to battle here, as he takes now P6. Now it's just 2 laps to go then. And then in third place, Flix and Kubo right now battling for that final step of the podium. Looks like JT might be able to just hold on for that second place. In the meantime, Figueira with the lead of the race, a very controlled race, looking to win then for the first time here in Igora Drive. As JT will be taking second place, but let's see now. One lap to go. He's going to be taking that third place here. As we see then Hernandi just trying to hold on. As in the meantime, here we go then. Final half of the lap here as we see now. Kubo going up the inside. He goes for the double overtake, but Flix goes for the switch back. He's going to be taking third then. But as we see, oh no, looks like Kubo is taking it. For some reason, the scoreboard did put Kubo there in third. I don't know exactly why that happened. You see Matimar ahead of Corvid there. But with the ping, obviously things can change. And then we got here Setch. And then Mason. And yeah, then it is Albono. They're in P18. So then looking at the race results, we got then Figueira with the race win. It's the second of the season with JT then taking second place this time around with Kubo. Then staying on the podium. Then we got Flix there in P4. Then with the fast lap as well. Then Hernani in P5. So his podium streak is pretty much over. Then we got Ozzy managing to beat F1 Fern for that P6 with Fedmi finishing P8 this time around with Johnny Full P9. And then it is 60 Digger then closing the top 10. And then we got Menberg just staying outside of the top 10 here in P11, followed then by Corvid and Matimar, who were very close on the final straight. And then you got Pituco there in P14 with Churoni, P15, and we see Setch, followed by the Leaks Racing drivers Mason and Mr. Albono. And so after 2 rounds race on tracks that are being used quite a few times, we are now going to be finally racing on a yet new debuting track for this season. We got then Lil One's Nusantara circuits, which is in Indonesia, and I believe it's a fictional track. And so we'll see you there until the next time, and goodbye.